The next person who's going to share a few words is Unik Eyre. Nick is just going to obviously start by introducing himself, and he obviously represents quite a wide fraternity. And, as much as a freedom fighter that Kaunda was, he was also what I would call an evangelist. In other words, if you weren't a believer in his message, he didn't see you as the enemy. He would talk to you and try to convince you in his way and learn your character. So whether you learned by force or by humor, and I think he used his dramatic art skills to persuade. And I think Nick represents a wide range of people, not just people who played rugby with him, but people that had been touched. And I was forced, actually, I wasn't by choice, to put a video together for just to address the issue of the war cry the other day. But I think Nick speaks on behalf of the old alien unions, but also a few other people. So over to you, Nick. And thanks for joining us, Nick. I know you played rugby with him also beyond high school, so maybe just share a few stories from Joburg as well.
Thanks very much, Kaunda. I really appreciate that, man. I don't know if somebody wants to pin me up there then, and then we can carry on. Right-click pin. So I've actually got a few stories coming from quite a few people. Go on, just let me know if you can hear me properly. So I think I've said everything that I really need to say, and if I read some messages that came through from the old alien union, the Gauteng guys, and if I could tell you, I was in tears just reading it. This is going to be even harder. So I'm going to try and get through it as best as possible. But please just bear with me if I struggle a bit. So the first one comes from Darren Ogden on behalf of the Gauteng Old Alien Union. Darren's obviously a little bit older. Just about me, I think if you don't know who I played rugby with Bear for many years, and I've known him since I was 10 years old. He was not a 9-year-old boy, and we've grown up pretty much together at hostels and things like that. So, and I've known him afterwards. But Darren Ogden, on behalf of the Gauteng Old Alien Union, he just says, for Bev, to write meaningful words about a man such as Bev, one feels totally unqualified and inept to the task. To put into words a life lived to the fullest, the influence he had on so many, the incalculable energy he had carried with him, any attempt one may make will only fall short. The effect his way too soon passing has had on so many people is a true reflection of what the world has lost. We don't need to mention his achievements, as those are all well documented, but certainly never boasted about by such a gentle giant. Maybe because his attitude was, there's always more per ardua ad astra, through hard work to the stars. This is the Dale College motto, and most certainly never personified in such a way that Bev managed to do. However, it is that and the task becomes easy. That always seemed to be the case, even though he spent so many hours refining his abilities. It was time to meet the boys for a drink and pose for a selfie, or to comment and banter about a sporting event, particularly Man United, and to even listen and give sound advice to those asking for it. He always gave so much more than time seemed to allow. You have reached the stars now, my friend. We now know you are sitting with the angels and reporting back on the week's sports, educating them on why and which team they should be supporting, Man United, shouting for your most loved teams while humbly accepting defeat or victory. Bev, the loss is ours. You have left us way too soon. That booming laugh that filled the whole of Bryanston Sports Club will never be forgotten. He used to come and visit us at the Bryanston Sports Club for the old daily meetings every now and again. Some background. But there will always be a glass filled for you at our monthly meetings. It is now time to grieve. It is our sadness that we won't have you around, but we know you would want us to pick ourselves up like you did so many times and move on. You would want us to think of the positive, a great life lived, and follow in that attitude. It is now time to thank you for the example you set, the happiness you brought to so many. You achieved the impossible, made a path where there was none. So thank you, Bev. Darren Ogden and the Gauteng Old Boys. This is from, I've got two messages from guys that were his captains at school and friends. The first one comes from Warren Brett, who was with him in the year 2000. They had an incredible year. Not as good as ours, but a very good year. Tando's smiling nicely there. Nick, I'm at loss for words when it comes to Bev. Although after school our paths didn't cross as much as I'd like to, he was still instrumental in the love and success at Dell College, in my love and success at Dell College. And we became close friends early in my school days. Most definitely contributed by his big heart, big smile, and very loud exuberance. My earliest memory of Bev was when we jumped into my car with my mom, dad, myself, and a huge boerboel for a lift to Queenstown for our first cricket game of the season. I forgot he wasn't a bad cricketer too, old Bev. As you can imagine, it was an interesting couple of hours, which proved the perfect way to cement what would become a great friendship. His love for rugby, and not only, but his love for rugby, not only playing, but his knowledge was infectious, and coming from a school where I had absolutely no idea about rugby, before I had a keen interest to duplicate his stature and quality on the field. He was a gentle giant, and so it seemed. Sorry, my wife just walked in. No thanks. He was a gentle giant, and so it seemed as a youngster with the largest heart that drew people towards him. Off the field and in the classroom, there was also a strong debate between him and the crew, Monde, Voyo, Ngange, and all the rest, he says, yeah, and company. These would rage in tone and battle until silenced, often by the big man. So it surprised no one. So it was no surprise to me he went on to share his two loves of debate and rugby while pioneering in the commentary scene. I will always remember his lawyer-like skills set to never lose the debate, with his charismatic level of changing tones as the debate would ebb and flow. It only rings joy for me that the world was able to enjoy this through the SuperSport endeavors. He, as so many have said, is a gigantic loss to society and to all those that he had come across, an individual with a big heart and big appetite to make change in the world. Rest in peace, Bev. Gone but never forgotten. Your story will echo for generations to come. Your life will be hailed as a game changer, and you was a game changer to the youth that will follow in your footsteps. Warren Brett, a friend of his from school, also played first team rugby with him. This tribute, I don't know if everybody knows, but he did some incredible work. We know him as the entertainer, the man you supporter, the amazing rugby player, but he was also an incredible human. And through his love for rugby and love for people and love for entertaining, he always gave back without asking anything in return. And he had a great relationship with the guys at Hollywood Bets, and they were putting in so many good things. And this is from a friend of ours from school who's the CEO of Hollywood Bets, Rowan Cross, and he just wants to talk about what Bev meant to the Hollywood team. So just a tribute to Kaunda from Hollywood Bets. On behalf of Hollywood Bets team, we are devastated by the passing of a truly great man, our brother Kaunda Ntunja. The loss of a fellow team member and a brand ambassador weighs heavy on our hearts. He was and remains a true inspiration to all of us. We worked closely with him in our sponsorship of Parker Rugby Show, and his love for the game was immeasurable. He was a pioneer not only for the Xhosa rugby commentary in South Africa, but also for growth of the game at grassroots levels in impoverished communities. Kaunda understood the value of club rugby, especially at a community level, and how important it is to build the foundation of the game. Kaunda's impact on the game of rugby was far-reaching and felt throughout South Africa, not only because of his descriptive, creative, and captivating Xhosa commentary, rugby commentary, but because of his mission to showcase rugby talent in impoverished communities. He gave disadvantaged clubs, players, and coaches a platform to showcase their abilities, history, and needs. Through Hollywood sponsorship of the Parker Show, we partnered with him on 25, I don't know that, 25 of these initiatives across the country in the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, as well as Hollywood Bets Murray Cup. We are truly privileged to have worked with him on these projects. And it was an honor having him on as one of our Hollywood Bets brand ambassadors. His humility and determination matched his passion. And this was always evident in his actions. Kaunda would always have time for any person within the Hollywood Bets team and took time to ask each person how they were, how their family was. He always engaged with so much passion about which club needed help, why they needed help, how help would help the community, the team, the coach. At handovers across the country, he spent time talking to the coach, the management of the club, the team captain, inspiring them, giving them ideas, giving them support. They all looked up to him with respect and admiration. He would meet a new person on our team for a film shoot, and within hours after the shoot, we would get a call from the team member about how amazing Kaunda was and how he was inspired, impacted by them, or by him. It just happened so naturally. Kaunda was passionate about his marketing, and his creativity was brilliant. We know this. Kaunda, Bev, amazing. We would have many random chats about new ideas, possibilities, ventures, adverts, events. He was always thinking about the new and about what could be next. More recently, Kaunda had a vision of giving back to Dell College and was creating a bursary fund to see one of the star Dell College boys given an opportunity to boost their studies and sporting career after school. We will continue these discussions in his name. There is a strong will within all of us to continue his legacy. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. He will be greatly missed, and we hope to carry on his legacy of growing the game at grassroots levels in the years to come. He's gone too soon, but leaves a legacy when it comes to the game of rugby in South Africa. His unforgettable commentaries will be remembered forever, but so will the impact he made on all of our lives. We had so many tears in our office at the time, which is evident on how Kaunda had impacted the hundreds of lives within our business. We say goodbye to a colleague, a friend, and a legend. Kaunda's strength and spirit will stay with us always. We promise to continue the incredible work he has started in his honor. Our hearts are with his family during this difficult time and this very, very sad time. Hamagahle Zizi. That was from Hollywood Bets. They did some great work. And Rowan Cross, thank you very much for the message and the kind words. Just like to talk about, we spoke about how he used to give himself without asking anything in return. I don't know how many times he helped people. Ndumiso Lindy Rooster talks about, when, well, let me read what he said. It was really beautiful. I just had to take some time off to digest this one. We lost a great one here. There's a lifetime brotherhood bond we share with people we went to school with. In fact, it's a bond by all the guys who went to any boarding school, never mind that we get on each other's cases sometimes. It's part of the spirit. Bev was a passionate individual, loud, funny, and just full of life. He walks into a room and you feel his presence. the man who gave us the best also rugby commentary. I watched him build that from ground up and put together a team. At some point, he used to call me to do SuperSport voiceovers. I posted one time that I was doing a one-man show, and he was immediately inviting me to his Paka show in his live voice. Ndura, we're going to speak a bit about rugby when I talk about your lock-playing days in high school and then market your show. That was Bev. Always putting his people on. Now, most of you make a mistake about Kaunda playing 99. This is talking about the 2000s and the 99s. You can't really compare. There were two different eras, but yeah, Kaunda always came back to our reunions to the 2009 and 2019. He even came back last year.
And you're doing so well.
I know, I'm sorry. Yeah. Definitely gone soon. Condolences to his family and friends. Rest in peace, brother. Lala Ngokolo Dlamini. Ozizi Madota. So I'll just finish off with something from a lot of the overseas boys and family, and I'm sure a lot of you saw the video that went around that came out of Jersey with Kaunda, his name in the sand, and the video. It was really a beautiful tribute, and Jason Hosty wrote a few words down, and also sent it from all the people there, and yeah, I think this is a wonderful. It was a wonderful tribute from everybody over there. Dear Aviwe, the impact Kaunda made at Dell College has given him the title of game changer. He demanded excellence, he insisted on courage, and applied exceptional passion into everything he did. Playing rugby alongside him was an honor. To captain such a formidable person was a challenge. And that challenge brought out the best in me and every one of his teammates. Kaunda had the amazing talent of being able to orchestrate a game and dramatically intimidate every opponent he came up against with a ferocity and flair I had never seen before. His impressive on-field commentating of every sidestep and an emphatic run he made should have given us all a clue that he was an amazing professional ambassador. What an amazing professional and ambassador he would become for the game of rugby. He has paved the way for generations to come and inspire every person to courageously strive for whatever they want to achieve in life. His booming voice would echo through the corridors of Dell College. His emphatic laughter was heard by all who knew him, and his smile captured 1,000 moments of joy. It was an honor to know the boy, the man and the father that he became, such a legend amongst legends. Words cannot justify the grief, the sorrow, nor the sadness we have felt. I share your heartache, and we all had such agonizing moments of remembrance of a wonderful man your husband is. His memory will never fade. He lives on in all of us. Dear Malani, your father was a friend. He was a great and courageous man. You always remember to be very, very proud of your father. Just like all of us. He loved you infinitely and will be watching over you forever. When your little sibling arrives, you tell him every day what an amazing man he was. He will be with you and watching over you every day from heaven. Please make sure you say hi to him from me. All my love, Joseph Husty. And just from my side, to Bear's family, I'm truly, truly sorry. This isn't fair. Aviwe, your husband, was one of the good guys. Forever putting others before himself. Know that you and your girl and your boy will forever be part of the Kaunda's extended Dale family. We miss him dearly, so dearly. But we are grateful for every moment we got to share with your amazing, wonderful person. To Bev's precious little darlings on the pitch, your dad used to say to me, "Give Ntunja the ball. Grab life with enthusiasm and confidence and run with it, because you are Ntunja and nobody ran better than Utata." We have always been so proud of your dad. You will be too. And we are so proud of you. Lala. Thank you.
Nick, I always knew that there was some black in your blood. Now the length of this kills me. Hey, what happened to your 7 minutes?
Below the belt.
But yeah, no, thank you for the heartfelt words.